Hey, fellow architects, it's me, Mario, and today we are finally gonna talk about some evil guys. We're going to talk about dead collectors today. They come in three kinds. They can give you two stones, or two wood, or two clay. They have the three different icons: hammer, axe, and brush. And they can be very strong, and I think they are a fan favorite. So let's dive a bit into them. But before talking about debt collectors in particular, I think it's better to just give you an idea of how I see an evil strategy. So, an evil strategy is an all encompassing name that includes all the strategies that look at abusing the black market and going down on the virtue track to utilize favorably the -2 coins or -1 coins on taxes, especially the minus coins on flipping debts. Um, these strategies have a big problem. The big problem is that their arc is pretty long, so they take more time than traditional strategies to kick off, and online games are pretty fast and unforgiving. So it's not always easy to abuse them. Let's take a look at this game. I flipped three debts. I still won, but let's say barely. So, what do you want to do with debt collectors? Well, that's pretty easy. You want to hit the black market quite a bit, go down on virtue, and at some point start flipping debts in the guardhouse, getting lots of resources, and then close to the end of the game spend them to build a few times. That works pretty well if you can set the timing well, but sometimes it's very tricky to do so. So, what do you do as an evil guy? Once again, this is not just about debt collectors, it's just in general. You want to capture a bit. I know that I said that capturing is not that strong in for players, and I stand to that, but if you're evil, you need to slow down the game a bit. And also, if you're evil, you have a very good way to use coins, which is paying off debts. So that's what you want to do. You want to capture people, you want to send them back to the guardhouse for something like a plus 12 coins or plus 15 coins or something like that. And then you want to use those coins to hit the black market again and to go over here. How do you get debts with debt collectors? You get them by going lower than zero on virtue, or you get them because when the black market resets, you're the guy with the most people in the guardhouse. You're not actually actively looking getting a lot of debts, but it's just something that happens incidentally while you're taking some of the best actions in the game. Because normally black market spots 1 and 3 are very strong through all the game, and spot 2 is very strong at the start to um, kick off your engine in some way just by getting apprentices. And it's also pretty cool in the late game because again, one of the thing that I don't know if most people know about the evil strategy is that you're not going to build much. Normally, you're going to build three, at most four buildings, I would say. So you're looking at high scoring buildings. Normally, you have lots of apprentices anyway when going evil because you have coins and you want to spend them profitably. The game is going a bit longer because you're capturing the other player's meeples. So you just want high points buildings that normally require all three icons. And also you want buildings that cost marble. Marble is actually pretty hard to get in architects. The easiest way is our spot 3 and spot 1 on the black market. And buildings are thought thinking of that. So they are designed so that the marble is really precious, and if you are able to get a marble, you get something more out of a building. So, like in this game, I got two buildings that cost me marble, and that's pretty good. And especially, I got the castle. I think that the castle and the observatory, I think it's the other one, buildings that give you virtue at the end of the game for leftovers, gold or marble, are very strong when you go evil strat. And the last one is the other one that gives you one virtue every four left resources. That one is also very strong because with debt collectors, normally you end the game with more resources. It didn't happen to me in this particular game because again, I flipped only 3 debts, but the evil strategy is the most difficult to pull off. It doesn't work in every game, and you need a very careful plan to make it work, but of course, it's very satisfying. Like in this game, I went for a middle strategy because I flipped 3 debts. You can get away with 5. I know that people have flipped something like 9 depths, but I think that when you're playing against good players, that's pretty hard to pull off. You don't have a lot of time normally to do that. Players are rushing to the end of the game either by the cathedral or just by building a lot. So you don't get as much time as you'd like. So my suggestion is to still go for a middle of the road strategy. Still, if you get the 2 best debt collectors, which are the wood and the stone ones, their value is actually pretty good. At that point, flipping debts is a very good action for you, and that's a bit counterintuitive. By the way, flipping debt is the other reason because of which capturing meeples works so well when you go evil. You want actions on the guardhouse, you want to gain coins and spend them on flipping debts, and you also want to force other players to go to get to the guardhouse quite a bit to free up their worker while they don't have any other action available to them. So, debt collectors are good. Yes, I had to introduce the overall evil strategy to let you know how it works in general. When we are going to discuss about the illusionist, for example, or other evil guys, I will talk a bit more in detail how to make them work. But debt collectors are, in my opinion, pretty much the bread and butter of the true evil strategy, which involves getting debts and flipping them. Flipping 1 debt's giving you 4 resources and a virtue is a very good way to spend coins. And anyway, in the base game, I think there are a lot of ways to get coins and not many ways to spend them. So transforming coins into resources thanks to debt collector is actually something very good. Remember though that you need a way to convert the marble you're going to get from the black market into points thanks to some good buildings. Remember that you're not going to build much, and remember that probably you're going to have some leftover resources which work very well with something like the clay market, the wood market, the stone market. They are all pretty good. The silver market too. They're all pretty decent when you go evil. So there are, in my opinion, but if you watched my main video, you already know it. The buildings are more important to your overall strategy. They should guide you. And if you have some buildings that nudges you towards an evil strat, take a look at the apprentices and try to collect the ones that works best with what you're trying to do. So debt collectors, they're good. Just remember that pulling off an evil strat isn't always easy, but they are, in my opinion, some of the best at helping you at that. Of course, they are completely useless in a game that doesn't involve you going evil. So keep that in mind. They are not just some patrons or jewelers or traders that you probably can use, or stonecutter or woodcutters. They are not apprentices that you can use in every game and be happy with them all the time. You need a pretty focused game plan, and in my opinion, you always need 2 debt collectors to really have this strategy be good for you. That's it for today. See you next time. Myers out. Bye bye.